What's your favorite thing about the UAE?
It's the true land of opportunity.
Khalas, enough said.
Dubai is not a manufacturing country. It's a trading country. It has the best ports in the world. It has the best storage facilities and the best places to do business in the world. I learned it not by studying, but by working. You and I can come here, no money in our pockets, and there is still opportunities for us to walk out as billionaires. Do you know how supportive the law is to you?
It's made to protect you and help you and support you.
Put your money in subleasing. The returns on subleasing are bulletproof. My go-to is two: staff accommodation and student accommodation. I know the tricks now. If it took me 6 years before, it's going to take me 3 months now.
So if you had a 20-year-old right now who has the ambition, the drive, but no capital, what will be the 90-day action plan that you will give him right now?
In the real estate game, I would...
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Abu Abdullah here. Before we get into the podcast, I'd like to welcome you to the Medina Project, a podcast dedicated to empowering Muslims with financial independence, locational freedom, and a legacy of righteousness bi-idhnillah azza wa jal. We're here to help and inspire Muslims like you to break into tech, real estate, and entrepreneurship, to build businesses that serve the ummah. On this podcast, we highlight Muslim entrepreneurs and their businesses, share with you game-changing insights, and give you the tools to transform your life so you can better serve Allah and your community. If you're ready to take that step with us, all I ask of you is to subscribe to the Medina Project, share to spread the khair, and join us on this journey where we're building stronger Muslim communities, one project at a time. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Marhaba, jazakallah khair for coming, taking, your time to do this podcast with me. Walillah alhamd is something that we've been wanting to do for some time. Walillah alhamd, everything, is by the qadr of Allah Azza wa Jal, and today is the day. Walhamdulillah. So you've lived in Dubai since you were 2 months old.
Yes.
Right? Not many people can say that. So where I want to start is, can you take us back to growing up here in Dubai, I think in government housing, in Karama, right?
Yeah.
What was that like, and what shaped the hunger, I guess, that you have now? Because I see it, I sense it, I feel it, right? What has shaped the hunger that drove you to get to where you are today?
So, as you mentioned, Karama, right? Government housing, these were the first few buildings, His Highness, the king at that time, the ruler at that time, built for expats. They were affordable housing, 2-bedroom apartments, 1 bathroom, kitchen, hall, and they were the chawl system. And there were stairs, 3 floors of stairs, right? It was one of the most happy memories I have. Even though we were living in a small apartment, we had, I had a lot of friends, kids, from so many different countries, from many different nationalities. It was really fun. And of course, we used to live right next to the building, which was called the Defense Building, where you had all the army families and the police families. Right? Even in our buildings, there were some police families on the 3rd floor, and made a lot of friends there. So that was a good memory, right? I remember looking out of our balcony and seeing the World Trade Center. It was the tallest tower in the GCC. It was the tallest tower. That thing was lit up in a yellowish, orangish color. And that thing fascinated me. I was like, we live on the 2nd floor and look at that. Yeah. And one of the days I had I had the fortune of actually going under that building and standing there and looking at that. How we stand under the Burj Khalifa today? I was standing looking up like that because my aunt worked there, and I went along with my uncle to pick her up after work. And that thing, when I was standing down there, I was like, oh my God, and at that age, I'm thinking, I want an office here someday. I want to work here someday, But it was more than the office thing. It was more about being around buildings. I wanted something big. I loved land. And over time, what got the hunger was that. I loved how it was, because we used to visit India as well once a year. Everything I saw was just Indian. Everyone I saw was just Indian. I was so used to the multicultural culture here. I was looking over here, I have a friend from Yemen. I'm looking over here, I have a friend from the UAE. I'm looking over here, India, Pakistan. I had Bangladeshis. There were some Eastern Europeans living in that building as well, in those days. Wow. I'm talking about, right? So just off the top of my head, I remember probably 8 nationalities already in our building. You know what I mean? And these people were blue collar jobs. These people were working blue collar, white collar jobs, you know. Their kids, everyone living on a budget. You know what I mean? Every Friday we used to get 2 dirhams to spend after Jummah. We used to buy 1 drink and 1 packet of chips or crisps. You know what I mean? That was our entire weekend set. But then growing up and then seeing Dubai shape up, and then obviously we had to move from there because, you know, rents started changing. And my father he was into business. He was in buying and selling cars. He used to import cars from Japan, and then he used to either refurbish them here or he would export them to India or Pakistan or other places from here. Especially in those days, you did not have your Mercedes, Honda, Toyotas in India and Pakistan. Everything was imported from outside. That's the business he was in. So I used to go to work with him on my day offs, you know. He used to work on weekends as well. So I used to go along with him. So that was his small business. And over time, you know, I used to go to school again, even though I was going to an Indian school or a British school, nationalities, right? You got so many different people. The other side of the hunger came in when my dad lost his business. He lost his business and he went, and it affected him badly, like mentally, not just financially, but mentally as well. It affected him really badly. And at that time, my mother, she was working for an airline, Emirates, right? So she was supporting the family while he was trying to get back up. And there have been days where we did not have money to pay electricity bills and the electricity was cut off and we were sleeping in the heat for a couple of days or sometimes even up to a week in this summer. You know what I mean? So again, there were, you know, different types of things that were fueling my, how can I say, my ambition, fueling, you know, obviously there was some anger towards the situation, and I learned how to utilize that anger as fuel, you know, rather than just going and breaking something. It was better that I kept it. I used to control it, and then I started using it as fuel to work better, understand I can't give this life to my family. I want my own family. I need this. So for me, it was more of, at that time, I needed tangible goals. You know, I need a 3-bedroom apartment. I need 1 Merc. I need this. I need that. You know, I need to get this sorted, that sorted. So yeah, that was the initial fuel.
Saudi Vision 2030 has 30 million pilgrims annually projected. That's 3 times the current capacity. We position ourselves for this boom today. While others wait, alhamdulillah, we've secured properties in Medina. No fear. We see the opportunity and we're going all in. We have long-term leases signed. Renovations already underway. Operating procedures already established. What we need is investment capital to complete what we've started. The minimum investment that we're targeting is $15,000 with a 25% projected return annually. That is a low number for investment and a high return on investment compared to the market. Pilgrimage, Umrah, is recession-proof. Demand exists in good times and bad. Muslims will always visit the city of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We're looking for a number of founding investors to join us who will get priority on all future investment opportunities. Bi'idhnillah, you'll have direct access to me. You can ask any questions that you need. Investment forms are ready. If you're serious, please fill it out below and we will provide you all the information that you need before you make any commitment. Medina is calling. Will you answer? So you mentioned your father's business collapsing, right? And I believe that triggered you to enter the workforce yourself, right?
So I was in a boarding school for a while in India.
Okay.
Right. My parents packed me off, sent me there. For whatever reason at the time, let's be honest, I was a little bit of a mischievous child, but I had a lot of energy. I had a lot of energy as a child. And because both my parents were working, you know, there was, you know, who's going to take care of us? You know, where am I going to go and give this energy out? They put me in karate classes once. I beat up a child and they had to let me go, kind of a thing. And so my uncle suggested that send to a boarding school. You know, they have people 24/7. So I remember going there when I was in the 7th grade and 10th grade was when I came back. Right. And when I came back, I was 15. Right. And by that time was when I realized dad's business is gone. Because when I was away, I didn't know what was going on. When I came back and I come home and I see these guys are struggling. Like, they can't pay for my college. They can't pay for my education anymore. They're having troubles paying the rent. They're having troubles paying the electricity bill. So at that time, I kind of, without telling them, I started looking for work. Because I had that 3-month gap.
Right.
So I started looking for work, and I remember my mom saying, all right, which school do you want to go to? What are we going to do? I was like, can I take a break for a year? She's like, what? But you're going to do, I was like, and then I turned around. That was the most adult thing I ever said to my mom was, can you afford it? And she was silent for like 20 seconds. She was just like, she's looking at me, and she's like, I could see the look on her face. And when she turns out, she's looking at me, and I could see it on her face. It said, the look on her face said, you've grown up. I was like, can you afford it? It's fine. I'm going to take a year's break. I'm going to make the money. I'll go back to school. I'll pay my way through school. Right. And because I had a younger brother, they still had to support him with his schooling and everything. And he wasn't like me in terms of the energy. He was a little more sober. He was more calm. He was a little more academic, than I was. I was more the practical guy. So I started working at the age of 15. And man, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
What did you enjoy about that? And I guess what that stage, right? And having to go into the workforce at that age, because nowadays 15, they babies, right? 25-year-olds are not working. So what did that teach you about yourself at that age? Now looking back,
there was a word I learned very recently, and it took me back. Someone very close to me said, "You are resilient." And I was like, what does that mean? I was like, what does that mean? She's like, you have a lot of resilience. And I looked it up, and then I understood. And instantly in my head, I'm at 15, going from office to office, because I was a door-to-door salesman for refurbished copy machines. Xerox copy machines, the refurbished ones. Yeah. I used to go from office to office, giving my business card, taking their business card, and then sitting in the office the next day or a few days later, and then calling all of them up, following up, trying to set demos for them, stuff like that. So every single building you have seen on Sheikh Zayed Road today, which are not the later buildings, I'm talking about older buildings, I've gone to every single office in those buildings a few times at least. All the way down to Media City, all the way down there, till Marina. I've gone to all those buildings. So I knew which office was where. And that's when I realized a lot of real estate offices. I realized a lot of, I did a few other businesses. So logistics office I had my eyes on them, because a lot of them were real estate, logistics, law. And even the logistics companies, they were general trading companies, but they had logistics wings in them. You know what I mean? So I realized at that age, just fresh out of the 10th grade, I realized there's a lot of trading that goes on in Dubai. I realized, because you're a child, you don't understand a lot of that stuff, that Dubai is not a manufacturing country. It's a trading country. It has the best ports in the world. It has the best storage facilities and the best places to do business in the world. I learned it not by studying, but by working.
Practically.
So I used to keep my eye on those things, right? I did that for a few months, and I made my first sale. It was the biggest sale for that year what any salesperson had done, with the help of my senior, I'll be honest, because he came in and he talked it out. I did that sale and I resigned.
Wow.
I left.
How big was that sale?
It was about 8,000 dirhams.
Wow.
8 or 9,000 dirhams. But there was no commission for me in that. But I wanted to prove myself that I'm valuable. I'm not going to leave without closing a deal. I stopped liking that work within the first month. Like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. But I ain't no coward. I'm going to do a sale and then I'm going to get out. I did that. I did a sale. I got out. My next target was logistics.
Logistics. Is that, so when you say logistics, this is the events thing that you did for about 12 years?
No, so events came later. Okay. So I did logistics for a few years after that, where again, I was 16.
Yeah.
Right. Again, this was a part-time thing, and I was learning how the business works, how containers work, where do they go, how do you load them in, what goes inside these containers. I mean, I used to see these ships and these pictures and videos and all this stuff online, and I was like, wow, look at the size of that container, stuff like that. And that fascinated me.
So it's a curiosity that led you to go into it.
I was like, what goes inside? How do they pack stuff? I've heard cars come in that. How do cars come in that? I mean, boxes, I understand how you can pack boxes, but how do cars come in that? And I've seen 5 cars in one container. I was like, whoa, how? Because again, I'm a 16-year-old kid. I think cars are going to be parked like that. Like, that thing is 40 foot long. How are you going to park 5 cars in there?
So curiosity led you into that.
Yeah.
Okay. And
so I joined this logistics yard where they used to de-stuff and stuff containers, loading and unloading, right? They used to use, they used to use these laborers, and then they had laborers, they had forklift drivers, then they had accountants, they had supervisors, floor supervisors, and then they had managers, right? So I was one of the guys who was, I joined and I was desperate, and I was like, I need work. And he's like, first of all, he's like, man, you're a kid.
16.
I was like, just forget that. I can be much stronger than I look. He's like, all right, we're going to try you out. This is going to be an internship. I was like, fine, pay me if you like. Because in my head, I'm thinking, I don't need to pay any bills right now. By the time I learned this business, because in my head, I wanted to open a shipping company. You understand?
Had a goal.
Yeah, I wanted to go and open a shipping company. I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. So I started doing this, and I was working with those laborers that used to go into the containers, tie the cars to the forklifts, pull the cars out, put the tires, because they remove the tires. They lay it like a carpet. The cars sit on top of that. So you have 4 cars, and the last car is like this on top.
Right.
Resting on the bottom with a frame on the top at the end. So that's how they lay out these cars.
You were able to figure out how they actually did it.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I understood how much work goes into it. And then I realized, the floor of a container is a wooden floor. It's not a metal floor, but everything else is metal. I've been in situations where, a certain container has been packed improperly, and I squeezed myself into the driver's seat of the car, but the car wouldn't stop. And then something happened, and one of the other frames on top of it cracked, and the car right behind me just went on top of the other car. Like, it just, not crushed, but it sat there, making it impossible for me to get out. Oof. So how do we get these cars out without damaging them? You know what I mean? Right. So there have been times where I was stuck in a container for 4 hours.
Wow.
While people are working around, there was ventilation, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But it's hot. You're talking about August heat. Oof. You know what I mean? So I learned what things can be done, what should not be done, how to take that forward. And then I learned how to drive the forklift.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. If you're looking to get into tech, real estate, entrepreneurship, or simply make hijrah, let's connect. Click the link below to speak with me, and I'll help you scale exponentially and fast track that process for you. And now let's get back to the podcast.
And that was the day. And then once the boss saw me doing it, he ordered another forklift. He just gave it to me. Yalla. Alhamdulillah. So that was
amazing. So I am hearing, so far what I'm hearing is, again, like you said, resilience, but the curiosity is what I keep hearing over and over and over. So I'm interested to hear, I guess, how you transitioned from that, right? This curiosity, I guess, how did it lead you to eventually do events, which I believe you've done for about 12 years, right?
Yeah.
And eventually, and then from that, moving into the real estate, right, with the 3-bedroom apartment and all that stuff. So I guess what made you realize, so first and foremost, again, what led you to go into events, and then what made you realize out of all of these things that you've tried and tested, that real estate is where you belong?
So while I was doing the logistics, right, I did that for a good, say about 1.5 years, 2 years, approximately. I don't remember. It's a little hazy. And then I reached a stage where I was managing the entire yard. I needed to get a place to live, right? I needed a place to live. And the rents, subhanAllah, I was like, what am I going to do? I have to come back and live in Sharjah. And I did live in Sharjah, by the way. I did stay here on just the other side, in Taun. It would take me 2 hours to go to work and 2 hours to come back. That's 4 hours of my day, every day gone. You know what I mean? And the frustration in traffic was something different. So I was like, I need to live closer to work. I have to do this. And I would remember I was going building to building in an area I liked. I was going building to building, talking to the watchmen, becoming friends with them, just having a laugh with them, having a chai with them, and getting information about which apartments, how many, are there any sharing units in this place? And then I kind of understood how the subleasing concept works, right? So at that time, I just took up an apartment and I just lived in one room and rented the other rooms out. That way I was saving money on my rent. And I was just paying a little bit for the utilities, which was diva, out of my pocket. But that was it. I wasn't paying an exorbitant amount on rent every month. So that was me saving money. Right? And that's when I understood the power of subleasing, because I started doing it myself. And that's when I remember I got a very big bonus. At that time it was a big bonus. Now it's chump change. But at that time it was a very big bonus for me. I was like, another apartment. I took another apartment after that, and I became friends with the owner of the building. How I reached there,
This is the same building that you first moved in?
Yes, same building. I found out who the owner was. I have a knack for this. I have a knack for
curiosity.
Oh, yeah. I have a knack. I know how to climb the ladders now. I know who to talk to. And especially most of these people who are serving these owners are Pakistanis and Indians. Let's be honest. You either have Pakistanis, Indians, which is that Desi group, and you either have the Syrians, the Lebanese, or not the Lebanese, but Syrians and the Egyptians. You have these two groups serving the master. That's how it works, right? And I kind of know how to be friends with both of them because I've lived in this multicultural country. You know what I mean? They can't get along with each other though. You know what I mean? So I would get the owner. I got the owner finally. I spoke to him. And I was talking to him nicely, and I was, inviting him to an event where he could network.
You were still doing the events at the time?
I was still doing events at the time. So I invited him to the events. I was like, come network, blah, blah, blah. I can introduce it. This is a real estate event. You own buildings. This is my gift to you. Because those seats would cost $2,000 to $3,000 per seat.
Wow.
And we were allowed to invite a few people sometimes as staff. On the house, as long as we inform them in advance. Because they would see the caliber of the person we're inviting.
Right.
So if I'm inviting a person who owns 12 buildings in Dubai, please, sir, please, sir, please. They're going to call him in.
Right.
So I took this permission and I invited him. He registered himself, but he didn't come. He didn't show up. And then now he was apologetic because he didn't come. So I was like, no problem at all. Next one, I'll invite you. I'll put your name down. He's like, but until now, I haven't met him.
Wow.
I haven't seen him so far. I have his ID, but I haven't seen him.
Right.
So one of the days I get a message. Where are you? And I was like, at home in the building. Come down. As soon as he said, come down, I was like, this guy's downstairs. I went down, met him. The guy actually has chai. He had chai. We had a chai together. And then I, asked him, you have other apartments. It's not right the way they're managing it. Give me one more. He's like, okay. This one's getting empty in a month. It's yours. I'll see how you run it. Then we'll talk about the others. So that was the first one. 6 months later, I got 2 more buildings from him.
Buildings, not apartments?
Buildings.
Wow.
But with the buildings, what happened was I got in partners to run it with me. Right? So it just, it kind of, because when you talk about buildings, I still have to pay this guy.
So
I have to give him a big deposit. I have to give him a first fat check in the beginning. Obviously, I did not have those funds on my own. So I had to pull in partners, right? And it was going right. So it didn't happen where he gave me 2 buildings immediately.
Right.
We got these. I got a few more apartments, and then I got another building in another location. That was the first building that I got in. And I realized that I have a knack for this. Even this was me doing this while I had a job, which I was at 12 hours a day most of the time, 10 hours a day minimum most of the time. My involvement, my system worked.
Right.
My system was flawless, alhamdulillah. I mean, there are flaws in everything, but my system was such that I did not need to go to these places every single day.
Because I had other people to leverage.
Exactly. And most of the time, the best thing is I never had anyone on my payroll permanently. They were all freelancers. They were getting paid as much as work that they do. Again, this is a part of my system. I don't give them visas. I don't take their overheads on me. None of that. They're coming and doing this out of their own free will. And because, let's be honest, I treat them right. Be it my cleaners, my maintenance people, my carpenters, my managers, my collectors, my watchmen, people who wash the cars for my clients, people who supply water in my building, drinking water. Everyone, I had a network. I have a network. You know what I mean? And none of these people are on my visa.
All freelancing.
All freelancing. So my overheads have been cut by more than half.
Amazing.
And all of that, I mean, I can show you after this. I've got cameras in all my properties.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And sometimes just the fear of the camera being there makes them behave.
Of course. Human being.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's how it went. And I remember, so while this was going on, while I had my job, I still had free time.
How?
I had free time.
12-hour days again.
So again, see, what happens is when you're in events, your busiest time is 1 month before the event, 1 or 2 months before the event, and till the 2 days after the event. That is your busiest time. And usually the run up before the event is like 2 months, right?
Got it.
When it comes to managing it, right? Because I'm not in sales anymore. You know, now I'm in negotiations with the vendors.
Right.
I'm in negotiation with the hotel to make sure everything
You're not
is fine.
actually running the day-to-day.
Exactly.
You're not involved.
So what I would do was whenever I had free time, I would plan events for the whole year. To be honest, I just liked it like that. I would plan everything a year out. As soon as I got the calendar of the event, which was somewhere around April, I would book venues for the entire year.
Was that a way to buy back your time?
Exactly.
Mm.
Because I would finish the bookings,
Right.
negotiate the rates today, because I know December is going to be a busy season.
Sure.
I know November is going to be a busy season. And the hotels, because I'm booking so far out and because I'm giving them so much business, I had preferred rates from them.
Right.
I had more, how can I say, they gave me more priority over others. So I just finished everything, the major stuff out, much far out. And then most of these events were yearly events.
Mm.
So I had to take care of the designing, the brochures, designing the catalogs, designing this, designing that, all of that. So I would have the basic structure, the skeleton of the design from the designers beforehand.
If you're serious about making hijrah and gaining financial freedom, stop waiting and start building. Coding for Hijrah gives you the tech skills to land a remote tech job or launch your own business, all for the price of a daily latte. Learn full stack development, AI, no code, and UI UX design fundamentals with a Muslim community that shares your vision. The first 100 students get in for a very, very special offer. Trust me, don't miss this. Click the link in the description and start your journey coding now. Now back to the podcast.
Everything is ready. Now what do they need to do? They need to put in the dates. They need to put in this. They need to put in that. Later on, the speakers will come in. You need to put in the speaker name, blah, 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 blah,
We already
blah,
have
blah,
the
blah.
framework for everything.
Framework would be ready.
Interesting.
So I had the extra time. And so at that time, I remember I got into another business where we were importing skincare products from Thailand and Philippines to Dubai.
Sure.
We were importing over here. We were manufacturing. First, we were buying other products from other people, other brands. And then we started manufacturing.
Mm.
So I had a partner with me then. I had one partner in Thailand, one partner in the Philippines who were managing it over there. And I would handle the distribution over here. We were doing it in small quantities, but it was decent. It was really good. That's when I remember I got news from a local friend that everything is going to shut down. COVID was about to come. COVID was about to hit us, right? And I had the news, I think about 4 months before COVID hit. I had the news end of 2019.
How is that possible?
Because it started in China.
Oh.
It had started in China already. And for precautionary measures, the officials here started having meetings earlier on. So I had a friend who was I have a friend who's in a pretty powerful position. And it wasn't sort of a warning or inside news. It was just something that we all were concerned about.
Right.
And we asked him, what's going on?
Yeah.
And he told us, he's like, just take care, all right? Just stay indoors. And there's a lot of things are going to shut down. And this is the best precautionary measure that we can take. So he was talking to another friend who owns restaurants. Right? Like restaurants, definitely. But then I asked him, what about events? I was like, okay, what about products? He's like, FMCG products, the fast moving products are going to still be going with special permits and stuff like that and home deliveries. I was like, okay, because my skincare products are like FMCG products, like soaps, creams, bath stuff. Exactly. You need to live off that, right? So that was saved. Then obviously I was like, okay, what do I do now? Because I knew this 4 months, 5 months out. So I mustered all the money I could, and I basically invested everything in the products. And I was buying the products in the Philippines for pennies to the dollar. And that was I can not gamble would be the haram word for it, but I could see it. It was a calculated risk I was taking, right? That's what I did. I invested a lot over there, and a month later I resigned.
From the events?
It was going to shut down.
Right. And then so you continue with the skincare and the real estate? But what about the real estate? I mean, we also
I'm coming to that.
Also was hit right by
I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
So with the events, I had planned to resign in my head a year before.
Okay.
But I was, delaying it. The salary was good. This is an autopilot thing for me. It's easy for me. And then I was like, you know what? This is a sign from Allah for me to get rid of this thing now. I need to stop. I need to get out of it. You know what I mean? I can make those 10 to 12 hours work better for me outside. And that's what I did. I resigned. I set up everything in a very small office, the skincare distribution and everything. I set it up in a very small office. In my house, I set up an office in the house, right? I took a 3-bedroom apartment just before lockdown. I'm taking a 3-bedroom apartment, and the entire living room was stock.
Amazing.
And I rented the other 2 bedrooms out. I lived in 1 bedroom myself, and I was packing and, sending out packages myself because I couldn't have anyone working for me at the time. And what happened with the apartments and the buildings that I had, look, some of them were working from home. So they compensated, they paid. But there were many people who couldn't afford it. Many people who lost their jobs. They lost their jobs and they're like, brother, what can I do? And
in terms of paying rent and
whatnot. Can you help me? I'll pay you here. I'll pay you there.
You have people living in your units
who lost their jobs.
Some of them cannot pay now.
Yeah. Now, what I do is I can't tell them to get out.
Right.
It's just, what if I was in that situation? Right? So I told them, look, my contract for this unit is till this date. Don't pay me anything. It's fine. If you can pay me later on, if you find a job, thank you. If you don't worry about it, but you need to get out at this date. Right. Don't worry about the next 2 months. Don't worry about the next 3 months, stuff like that. So I did lose a lot of units. And obviously, the landlords who I had the buildings from, they were really helpful as well. They understood. They did help me with discounts and they understood how many units were occupied and stuff. So I got through that. But I didn't really feel, alhamdulillah, I didn't really feel the pinch on that side of things.
Alhamdulillah. You having lived here since you were 2 months old, right? I mean, you've seen the transformation of not just Dubai, but the entire UAE, which to me is really amazing, right? Like, I don't know, like, if you ever sit down and really just kind of like go back in time and say, like, look at that and say, that used to be barren. I can see that, like I see those like buildings grow from the ground. Right?
Oh, yes.
But my question to you is, what makes Dubai, and really I don't just want to say Dubai, but I want to say the entire UAE, but specifically Dubai. What makes it different from any other city for building wealth? And why do most people miss these opportunities that's been here for, ever since you can remember? Since you were in your teens and until now, right? What makes it the best and why are people still missing those opportunities?
Because they think that it's first of all, this is from the Desi's perspective, Indians, Pakistani. A lot of them think, oh, this is not my country. I'm going to go back someday. That's the first wrong mentality you have. Because guess what? You spent your entire life here. Your kids are here. Do you think your kids who were born here are going to go back? Do you think they're going to adjust to the life back home? Hell no. And you shouldn't even calling it back home. That's just your passport home. And that's about it. And that is one mentality that really messes people up.
That's why they miss opportunities.
Yes, they miss the opportunities. And they start comparing it. The second thing is they start comparing it to stuff that has happened 20 years ago. Or, like the 2008 crash.
Yes.
That didn't happen because of Dubai. It happened because of it was a global thing, right? And do they actually take the time out to understand what are the changes that have happened since then to make sure that does not happen again? You know what I mean? There are so many rules that have been put in place and that are crucial for Dubai's success. Second, the third, let's be honest, the leadership.
Yeah.
It's a visionary. You will not find this leadership anywhere else in the world. I can say that with every single dollar that I own, every single ounce of breath I have in my body. You will not see this kind of leadership anywhere in the world. Tell me which leader in the world goes and has coffee and snacks in a mall in the middle of the day?
With the people.
With the people.
Around. Yeah.
Which leader or the crown prince has morning jogging events with hundreds of thousands of people, and he's openly running with them.
Yeah.
Where does that happen?
Only here.
They're loved. You have to understand they're loved, and they're just not loved blindly.
Yeah.
Because they do what they do for not just their own people, which is amazing, tremendously amazing, but they do for every single resident in this place. Every single resident. You and I can come here bare bottom, no money in our pockets, and there is still opportunities for us to walk out as billionaires. And you can do that within a span of a decade or two.
We've seen it happen. There's people that
it's happening, right? The support you get over here, you're not going to get there anywhere else.
The systems, the processes, the ease of doing
I've done businesses in 4 different countries, right? And by far, hands down, it's Dubai that is the easiest for me. Oh, this is expensive. Oh, that license cost is expensive. Oh, okay. Do you pay any taxes? Okay. Is your money safe?
Yeah.
Do you have control over your money? How much taxes do you pay back in India? Yeah. Oh, how much taxes do you pay in the Philippines? How much taxes do you pay in Pakistan? How much taxes do you pay here? How much taxes do you pay in the US, in Australia? And when you talk about real estate, let's talk real estate. Why people are messing out opportunities? Oh, in their head, they still want to invest back home. Let's be honest. You're not going there.
You didn't go back, like you said. I think a very important point, which applies to immigrants everywhere, right? We've seen it happen in the States. We've seen it. I speak to my parents about this a lot, right? And that's, I believe, the same to you saying here. If you who were born and raised in that country, that's your home country, you left, you came, and you settled. You never went back. Wherever you go, you just go for a couple of weeks, a month or 2 maximum, and you're dying to come back. You don't want to stay there. You don't want to settle there.
Exactly.
What makes you think that your children who have no direct connection to that land, whichever that land is, whether I'm not talking about just India, it could be Guinea, it could be, whatever, Morocco, wherever it is.
Any country, yeah.
What makes you think your children were born in the UAE or whichever country they were born in, and this is now where they know as home, they're going to have a connection and like they're just going to pack and go back, right? And I think that's what you're saying. And that makes a lot of people miss out on opportunities.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've tried to go and live there.
Couldn't.
I couldn't. Yeah. I was in depression after some time. And as soon as I was in the plane coming back and I saw Dubai from the plane, I was like, because then that's home.
Yeah.
Even when you move, there are people who've gone to Canada, gone to the US and have come back.
They come back.
They've moved back. Yes, they've got the passport this time, but they've moved back. They're like, oh my God, no. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. You get these passports from these other countries. What are you going to do with them? Right? Many of us, especially brothers, they don't like the way education is being handled in those Western countries. I would never send my kids to a school which is in the US or Canada. Let's be honest. Right? Here you have all of that. You have your security, you have your safety, not just for your family, but your money, your business. You're safe as long as you are doing it clean. As long as there's no haram and there's no hanky-panky going on, as long as you're doing it clean, this is the place
following the law, sticking,
And let's be honest, the law, do you know how supportive the law is to you?
It's made to protect you and help you and support you.
And not like the law in other places, which I have seen from my own eyes. Come on, that's there to take advantage of you.
Sure.
The law here is to support you and not, let's be honest, it is there to support the economy as well.
Yeah.
Because it's not just you who you need to think of. You need to think of all of the other people working
everybody
over here
else
who's come from so many different cultures and they're working their backsides off to make it happen. So
it's for the support of everyone.
Exactly.
I mean, if we go down, look, you and I are both so passionate about this, and the ones people don't understand, right? But when you have experienced what it is to do things here, and you've experienced what it is to do things there, you already appreciate it.
100%.
I mean, but now we appreciate it 1,000 times because we've seen the ease and and everything else that goes into it. Touching on real estate, right? And like you said, Dubai, post 2008, they have safeguards. Walillah alhamd. There's so many things: escrow, accounts, land ownership rules, DTI caps that have been put into place, all to avoid what happened and to protect 100%. Everyone's investments, right?
100%.
So my question to you is, for someone now, and we spoke about this before we started, for a lot of people that's coming from other places that are eager to invest here, if someone was to come with, let's say, $50,000, $100,000, what would you say is the smartest entry point for them in this day and age?
$100,000, which is roughly translated to 365,000 dirhams. Put your money in subleasing.
Subleasing.
Subleasing,
Why?
and do it with someone who is experienced. Don't do it with me. Do it with someone who is experienced if you don't want to do it with me. My point is, A, the returns on subleasing are bulletproof.
Okay, go dive into that a bit, because
All right.
this is, I'm really interested in this myself.
It's fine. It's fine. Subleasing, what happens is I'll give it to you in the most simplest form. Subleasing is where you lease the building from the owner. You bring it under your management. You pay him a certain amount, and now the building is yours. You have a contract with that person that you can sublease it to others. You're leasing it, and then you will sublease it.
And you have the right, and you're protected. And you
exactly.
Have the right
we have a contract from, it's called an ijari. It's called a contract, which is the contract of addendum, which is from the government of the UAE. You have the stamp.
Right.
You have that stamp.
He cannot take the building back during that time.
He cannot. If there is an issue, what happens is he has to, so say for example, he suddenly wants you to vacate.
Yeah.
He has to produce issues that you are creating, for example.
Which are valid.
Which are valid. There are people, let's be honest, there have been some bad activities that have happened in Dubai. Let's be honest. This is a place where people are coming from many different places.
Yes.
There are some activities, some trafficking, some whatever that has happened previously. Or even simple stuff like partying and drinking and creating a chaos. You know what I mean?
Right.
He has the right.
The right to remove them.
Exactly. Not paid, creating havoc. He has the right to remove them. However, he can't just come out and like, pack up, get out. He can't do that.
He will do
exactly. The law is not only there to protect him, but to you too.
So,
but let's be honest. Let's just be respectful. All right.
Right. That's it.
In all my properties, no one is allowed to drink. No one is allowed to smoke. You want to smoke, you get out of the building and you smoke over there. Or if you have a balcony, you go out into the balcony and you smoke over there. Right. None of that stuff happens inside. These are some of my rules. Right. I don't allow visitors inside the house unless it's pre-approved. Right. If you have your mom coming in, your father coming in, your sister coming in, I need to know a week before they come in.
Amazing.
Right? This simple stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you don't inform me and she complains, and then later on, when she is getting in someone, you tell me, oh, she's getting in someone. I'm like, hello, this rule is for everyone.
For everyone.
So simple. I take the apartment or a unit on a lease, right? I get the permission from the owner that I want to sublease this. There are a few different aspects that we can do this with, right? The most well-known aspect is the Airbnb, which I personally don't like as much. Again, everyone to their own, to each their own. The reason I don't like Airbnbs too much, it is because there's too many days that it is vacant. You know what I mean? For me, that's just not acceptable.
So what's your go-to?
My go-to is two. One is staff accommodation and student accommodation.
Student accommodation?
Yes, I do have student accommodations as well. Alhamdulillah, yeah.
Okay. So the staff accommodation, I've heard, this is where you're renting out to companies who have their own employees?
So again, within that you have A and B.
Okay.
Right? You have the B where you have a small group of employees coming to you themselves.
They come directly.
Yeah, they come directly.
Okay.
And, they're like, sir, please help us out. We want to live over here, blah, blah, blah. The accommodation the company is giving us is very far away. We want a good rate. We're coming in like 6 of us, 7 of us, we want like 4 rooms or 3 rooms.
It's like subletting.
This is subletting.
Okay.
This is 100% subletting.
Right.
So there'll be, for example, I just gave it out to a company now, which is in Dubai, and their company is literally like walking distance from there. They basically took an entire apartment.
Amazing.
From me, right? But then what I do is I furnish the entire apartment. I make sure that all the appliances are there, from the fridge to the washing machine to everything except the cooking utensils.
Yep.
Apart from that, you have all the furniture that you require, study tables, chairs, beds, mattresses, blah, 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 everything. And the beauty here is you're not under contract.
You mean the client?
The client is not under contract.
Okay. So what is this, like month to month or how?
It's month to month. They pay month to month.
And they can leave any...
They have to give us a 30 days notice. We have a deposit that we take from them, which is a very nominal deposit.
Right.
Depending on the size, it's between 500 to 2,000 dirhams, depending on how lavish of a property that they have taken and how expensive the stuff that there is in there. And what they do is, rather than them taking the headache of paying 3 checks or 4 checks or 6 checks in advance,
month to month.
They pay us month to month, and, they either deposit it or they give us cash or whatever it is.
Lovely.
And I make sure I do the weekly cleaning from my side of the common areas. Any issues that come up, 12 hours is what my timeline is to solve. 12 working hours.
Amazing.
Is what I need to solve that issue for you.
So if they have like plumbing or anything like
everything.
that, you have your guys on.
Your light starts flickering. You take a small video of that, send it to my guy. he sends the guy with the exact same light because he's seen in the video which light it is. So the maintenance guy comes with the light, changes it, bum, and leaves. Any issue, you have a leakage on the shataf or the shower or something, you send a small video, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, bum, done. The guy comes in, he fixes it, and he goes.
Ever wish you could build your own app but don't know how to code? Build Fast is a 60-day AI-powered program where complete beginners build 7 real apps using AI tools like Cursor, Supabase, Cloud Code, and other tools. No experience needed. You learn by doing with expert coaching, a modern tech stack, and career-ready projects all in just 2 months. In fact, in the first 30 days, you'll be able to build and deploy your first app. Only 12 spots in the founding cohort. Applications close July 31st. Link in the description. Apply now before it's too late. So for you, this is monthly. So for them, they pay monthly. You're removing the headache and the pressure of, again, 3-4 checks, whatever. And you also get in that monthly payment, so no vacancies, no day-to-day. So you're not doing daily rentals.
No.
Interesting.
I do have a few units, again, for the daily rentals, Airbnb, with a friend of mine, a very good brother, very good friend, and he handles that.
Got it.
He's got the technical background of Airbnb and Booking.com and everything, and it was, to be honest, it's something that I'm not good at, so I don't want to do it.
Okay, but what about financially? Because this is what a lot of people watching this, they're probably going to be like, okay, well, which one will make me more money? Right, and we know for sure that day-to-day is more risky. Like you said, there can be so much vacancy, but also, wouldn't that bring in more money though?
No, see, now it balances itself out.
Got it.
Everything balances out. You know what I mean? Oh, Airbnb is going to make me 20% of my property's value. No, it does not. Because in Airbnb, you have to, put the interiors like it's in a hotel.
Because you compete against hotels.
More.
You compete against hotels.
Your overheads are high before you even start. You know what I mean? Your overheads are high before you even start. You have to have a TV. You have to have a Netflix connection. You have to have this. You have to have that. You have to have this. You have to have so many things in an Airbnb. For me, I give strong furniture, wooden furniture, brand new mattress every single time a tenant changes, brand new mattress, deep cleaning, sanitization, everything. Even the shower curtains I change every time a tenant changes because just as hygienic, to be very honest with you. Even the pillows change every time a tenant goes. But I don't need to give them a TV. I don't need to give them towels. I don't need to give them bed sheets. I don't need to give them
So if they want that, they buy themselves.
Yeah, that's simple stuff.
Right. And they can take it with them when they leave as well.
Yes, take it. Take the pillows with you as well. Take the mattress with you as well. As long as you've lived with us for a number of months. That's it.
This is the MBA for me, even for the viewers, right?
Yes.
So in terms of returns, and I know there's something, by the way, we're going to talk about this offline, inshallah, but right now, I really want to give him a little, kind of like insight on this. You have something, I believe, that you call the 3X return or something that you do with the 3X return when it comes to real estate in Dubai, right?
Yeah.
So we'll call it the 3X return framework. And I'll shock you when we're done with this, by the way. I'll show you something on my computer, inshallah. So I want to look at it from 2 different angles. So when we talk about subleasing, and when we talk about buying property, so which one of these are you able to apply that framework in, or is it both? Like when we talk about subleasing, what kind of framework we're talking about? What kind of returns are we talking about on investment?
Look, with subleasing, you're looking at approximately, it's higher than buying property, but then again, some properties, specifically individual opportunities, are more than subleasing.
Well, those are rare.
It depends. Those are not that rare. You just need to have a magnifying glass that you need to look under.
Okay.
Look at it from. You know what I mean? You have to understand how it works. Like, for example, if I open this watch up to you and give you a glass, you'll just see some nogs and cogs moving, right? But a person who understands it sees what's wrong with it, what is moving faster. Like, oh, this one, I'm not. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that again comes with experience. When you're talking about, multiplying your income, I'm going to give you a very straight answer. You might not like it, or people who are hearing this might not like it. Subleasing will give you approximately 20 to 30% on an average in terms of income.
Annually.
Annually.
Which is great.
Which is fantastic.
But why? Some people think that's like a bad thing. they want 100 or 200x.
Then go and put your money in a gamble and then lose that money, and then you see what happens.
Yeah.
Because guess what? The gambling thing will tell you, you can win $1 million right now. Yeah, you can, but you will lose it.
You will lose.
You can lose it as
odds
well.
of you winning are 1 in a million.
Exactly.
Versus here, okay, so 30%, which is
20 to 30%. I'm being very realistic.
Which beats almost every other way of investing. The market, rents, whatever else.
But you have to understand this is a long-term game.
Okay.
Right? You have to look at it as a minimum. If you're doing this as an investor, yes, you can get in 1 year and you can get out as long as the property is not in your name. You are not tied in legally.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This is just the one.
Say, for example, my project. For example, you're an investor. You put in the money. I have a contract with you. We sign it, get it stamped, bum, done. Money comes in. All the headache is on me because the property is on me, the license is on me. All of the tenants are going to come and catch my neck if something goes wrong, not yours.
And the landlord.
And the landlord, exactly. And no, even the landlord, no, he's like,
yeah.
Here, the headache is mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, even the landlord, he's chill.
I mean, even him, he's going to come back to you.
He's going to come back to me as well. So that way, what happens is we take all of the stress. We basically, the reason why we have leverage in this case and why we charge what we charge and why we do what we do is because we understand the game. Right? And where we're giving the agent, now, again, I work on this 100% halal because I will not tell you, okay, you have given me $1 million and I'm going to give you 25% fix annually because that becomes...
That's not permissible.
Exactly. So you have a certain percentage in the profit that comes out.
Yes.
And whatever profit that comes out, the percentage of that profit goes to you, which roughly, I keep saying, is between 20 to 30%. So, I'll be honest, some properties go over. Some properties do go over.
Right.
Some properties do go under. But the worst I've seen, the worst in my last, decade of subleasing, the worst I've seen is 10%.
That still beats the market. Or we can say that, you know what I mean?
That beats real estate.
Market 8-10%.
That beats real estate buying in many cases.
Yeah. And renting, for sure, because renting you're looking at 6 to 8% at best, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, the worst at 10%, which is amazing.
I have seen that in the bad market.
Got you. Okay, but we're saying, generally speaking, 20 to 30%. So you're saying, just so people can understand what we're saying here, you put in, let's say, $100,000. We're talking you can roughly earn, bi'idhnillah, 20 to 30K annually on that 100K.
Give or take, 20 to 30%.
Give or take.
Yes,
give or take.
Yes, annually you can earn that much.
No guarantees, but give or take.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
You put in 100K, you get back in profits, $20,000 to $30,000 annually, which is amazing, which is unbelievable.
Keeping in mind, I'm going to be straight with you. Once the investment comes in, it doesn't start the next month. Many people start paying you back the next month.
Right.
They just take your money and they start paying you back from it. I'm being very straight from you.
This is like a Ponzi scheme.
Not a Ponzi scheme. Look, they will make the money in other projects, right? The point is, I am very transparent.
It's like one of those.
Yeah, I'm very transparent. Look, because when the money comes in, let's be honest, you're not the only investor. I have 3 other investors. I need all the money to come in before I take that specific project. For example, I'm doing a building, right? Let's talk about one of the Karama, like right? Hometown for me, right?
Yeah.
Home ground. We take Karama, the minimum at the moment right now for a building there is 1.5 million. Yearly.
Yearly
rental.
Okay.
But then people tend to forget there's a deposit of 10%.
Yep.
There's a commission of 10% that needs to go to the agents. We negotiate that down. But then again, there's still these payments. Then furnishing the place.
Sometimes you have to rehab the building.
Exactly. We have to make it habitable, right? We have to have all those washing machines, all the fridges, all the microwaves, all the beds, all the mattresses, all the curtains, everything needs to go in, right? Then we start renting it out. So even when we're taking the building from the owner, we take 1 or 2 months grace period.
Right.
Same thing when the money comes in, we inform the investors that, look, the money's sitting here right now. When the check goes in, that's when we start getting the contract. We get the handover of the building, right? And I'm very transparent. Look, we have 1 month grace period right now. We need to set the building up, right? And what we do is we give them updates, right? Pictures, videos, stuff like that. And that's when your income starts, when the building actually starts making money. Simple as that.
So generally speaking, so let's say if I was to invest, realistically speaking, if I was to invest today, let's say January 1st, how long am I looking before I can start seeing my returns?
2 to 3 months.
2 to 3 months. Okay, because that's what it takes you to set up. Okay, and And
maximum
Okay,
maximum 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
Can happen in 1 month also.
Right. And what about payouts? How does that work? Is that like monthly, quarterly? How do you guys?
Usually we target quarterly.
Quarterly.
Yeah, because what happens, look, there are people who give it to you monthly as well.
Yeah.
What we can do monthly after the building has come into a cycle.
Okay, now it's already flowing.
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of the investment, the life cycle of the investment with an investor, are they generally speaking, because obviously, like you said, it's real estate, there has to be a minimum time frame. What kind of minimum time frame do you consider to be, for the investor's perspective and for the operator's perspective, what is a fair, reasonable lock-in period? Is that a year, 2, 3 years of the
Look, many people, what they want to do is, especially new investors, they want it to be 1 year because they're a little eager. They're, they're a little restless. They don't, new investors, they don't have the
Right.
sabr. They don't understand.
Right.
It's like going to the gym for the first time and looking at your muscles. No, it doesn't happen like that.
Right.
But they want that 1 year.
Mm.
So I give them that 1 year.
Mm.
Right. And then after that 1 year, they need to tell me 3 months in advance. I asked them, I was like, do you want to exit or you want to continue?
Yeah.
Because you're seeing the money come in now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they say, I want to stay, I will tell them straight up, look, either we keep the building at the same rent because I've negotiated for 5 years or I've negotiated for 3 years. There are some buildings we negotiate for 2-year contracts as well.
So you want now the investment to be also locked in for that term?
No.
Okay.
I ask them. Minimum is 1 year. Minimum we ask them to lock in for 1 year.
Yeah.
Right? Unless it's a seasoned investor.
Mm.
Seasoned investors, they usually lock in for 3 years. They usually lock in for 5 years. They even come and add on. They top up.
Because he sees the benefits of that.
Exactly. And usually, like, for example, we were just doing a building right now in Bur Dubai, which is 1 year out from, it's in construction now, it's 1 year out. But we need bigger investors for that because that lock-in period is going to be 3 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the returns are going to be around 40%.
Ooh, amazing. So I know that I believe you target areas like Medina District 11, Jadaf.
For sales, yes.
For sales, right?
Yes.
What are the micro criteria that you use to specify these areas that others are overlooked?
Exclusivity, growth, value property growth, access.
Okay. Are we talking 3x on these potentially?
You're talking, look, you're looking at, when you say 3x, you have to look at, there's a return on there's ROI, return on investment, and then there's ROE, return on equity.
Got it.
Right? Return on equity, look, you want 3x on these properties.
Okay.
These are small investors.
Right.
You're looking at making about a 40% return in the next 2 years.
Amazing.
Right? That's a 40% income in 2 years.
Okay, and your
next 2 years.
We're not talking about the properties.
No, property value is going to go up. Now, giving you a quick small example, I'm going to give you rough numbers, right? Property, for example, is 2 million. Okay, for example, in one of these areas. Over there, you will pay 50% for the next 2 years with a breakdown. Okay, so say for example, you give 20% at down payment, and then you give 5% for the next, say, few installments, up to 50%, and then you sit for 6 months, because before the delivery, there's 6 months where you don't make any payments. Right. So right now you've paid 1 million. Right, but that 2 million worth property has gone up to 2.5 by the time it's handing over, or 2.7 or 2.8 by the time it's handing over. Right, so there you've made 800,000 dirhams over the 2 million. But how much have you paid? You've paid 1 million. Right? So you walk away sometimes with 60% returns, with 80% returns on your equity.
That's by if you sell the property.
If you sell the property. But then again, there are some projects that would give you that return, not every project. And now the reason why we are preferred by many developers is because the kind of clientele I get them. And there are developers I get discounts with, I get delays in payments, deferred payments with them. They understand my game. So there's, okay, if I give, instead of 70-30, what if we get you 50-50 payment? What if I get you 40-60? Give me 40% now, give me 60% later. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that is how we play with that. But there are some properties, specifically bigger ticket clients, who can literally double or triple X their properties, but they have to have that appetite. They have to have the 25 million, 30 million dirham appetite.
Amazing. You have children.
Yes.
Right? And obviously, literacy for children is important for you. So quick question. We have a lot of young people that watch Walillah Alhamd, the podcast, and they want to learn. And that's the whole point of bringing, people like you on the podcast, to share insights with them, to teach them.
Yes.
So if you had a 20-year-old right now, 20-year-old Muslim, who has the ambition, the grit, the drive, but no capital, what will be the 90-day action plan that you will give him right now?
In the real estate game, I would put him under management of the sublease properties first and foremost. Management is a fancy word, but when he's dealing with those people who are paying 1,500, 1,200 dirhams for a bed space, and you see how they talk to you, that's a whole different ballgame, my friend.
Why would you put him there?
So that he understands it from ground up. He will not understand the value of a building unless he understands the value of a bed. That's that.
He starts there.
He starts there. He lives there with them. He understands that with them. I don't care. Look, if he wants to learn, I don't care what his background is then. Yeah. Where he comes from millions or he comes from pennies.
Start from the bottom.
Start from there.
Let's move up.
That's how you go up.
I got some quick rapid fire questions for you. These you got to give me answers in like 10, 15 seconds. Okay?
Okay.
So the first one, we spoke about very special places in the beginning. So I'm going to start there.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mecca or Medina, and why?
Medina.
Why?
Because everything just, it puts me at peace. It's just, I can't with the words. I can't. It's just any day, hands down. If I could work remotely, I'd be there by now.
Khalas, we got to talk about that. We got to get you to Medina, inshallah. Subleasing is in Medina too. Right, we can talk about that.
I looked at some properties, by the way.
All right, we're going to talk about that. All right. So what's your favorite thing about the UAE?
It's the true land of opportunity.
Khalas. Okay. Enough said. If you were to start all over again, how would you do it?
Subleasing.
From the bottom up.
Bottom up.
You're willing to go do the bed space, start from the bottom, learn it all.
I know the tricks now. If it took me 5 years or 6 years before, it's going to take me 3 months now.
Amazing. 3 things. If you didn't have in place right now, you wouldn't be able to be where you are today.
Faith in myself, first of all, right? That I'm being taken care of. I am blessed, right?
By Allah Azza wa Jal.
100%. If I need to, I know that. I need to believe in that. You have to believe that you are blessed by him, that you are under his protection. That's one. Second thing, there is no turning back. There's no giving up. You get punched 10 times, you get up the 11th. You just don't stop. Third, you do it for something bigger than you.
One last one. One area in Dubai you will never invest in, or why? Controversial.
No, I mean, there are areas I wouldn't invest in. Look, never or now.
Okay, that's a good question. That's a good way to put it. I guess now.
The next few years, I wouldn't invest. For me personally, I wouldn't invest in Dubai South near the airport for residential units.
Okay.
I don't want to live next to an airport.
Got it. But airport's moving.
No. I'm talking about Dubai South.
Got you.
Dubai South, the new airport, the world's biggest airport where flights are going to come in and go every 5 seconds. I don't want...
Okay, but you will do commercial.
100%. Okay. Hands down, 100%.
Amazing. Masterclass, guys. I don't know what to say. I wish we had more time, but
Inshallah, maybe we do a part 2.
We have to, inshallah. Because
let's make it more professional the next time in terms of... Yeah, inshallah.
I really appreciate you coming out. I really appreciate all the insights. This was a masterclass for me, first and foremost, wallah. And so much I want to discuss offline. We got to link up before I leave here.
100%.
Privately,
100%.
Let's sit down, let's
do
have
it.
dinner.
Let's go for dinner. Yeah, let's do that.
And talk more about this. And then, inshallah, we'll be happy to share the insights with everybody that's watching. Jazakallah khairan. I appreciate you. Beautiful meeting you. Beautiful learning from you. Jazakallah khairan. With that, we'll end. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakallah khair.